aspects, God is, it's it's one, like, eternal being. God in Hinduism is omnipresent and all-knowing, but also he's also in everything. So he's in all living creatures and also all inanimate objects. There's actually this, there's a story, there's like this demon king guy, and he decides, he does penance for like 1,000 years, and he gets a boon that says that he's basically invincible or whatever. So he conquers the world, and then he declares himself the new god. And then he actually, he challenges God to come challenge him. And actually what he does is he like breaks open a pillar, and from the pillar a lion comes out and mauls him to death. And the lion is God. So basically, like, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, so like it's really hard to like describe God. Some Hindus are polytheists, some Hindus are monotheists, some Hindus are kind of both. How it happened was that, like, God was originally like this eternal, and it's like the oldest descriptions is like this all-present like being that encompasses everything. And what happened was that, like, for each aspect of like nature, of each aspect of life, like, so they'd give like a new like name for each of these aspects. So like for thunder, they'd give a name for that. And what happened is that eventually these names became like different gods. And that's how like the 30,000 like gods originally, because like you would describe like the mountains as, they'd give a name for the aspect of God for the mountains, an aspect for like overcoming obstacles, and like a name for like destruction, and like they came up with all these names. And what originally happened was that they developed, and like people started worshiping each of these different aspects as like different gods, right? So that's how it became kind of like polytheistic in that manner. So like if you go to the temple, you'll see some people worshiping like monotheistically. You'll see some people worshiping polytheistically. It's kind of confusing. You'll see some people who like say they're monotheistic, but they worship polytheistically. It's really weird. As far as like God is represented, so the three big aspects, which are kind of like represent the circle of life, is Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. So it's birth, and then preservance, and then destruction. So that's basically just the circle of life. So that's kind of like what people say are like the three main gods, because that's basically life. So those are the three most like apparent aspects of God. And then there's also like a bunch of like minor deities and like polytheistic Hinduism, which cover like the whole spread of just the aspects of life. You name something, there's going to be some God for it. But once again, like in its original form, it was intended to be just like really if you read like the oldest versions, it's just monotheistic, and it's just a different name for each aspect of life. And it's just the educated people probably worshipped in the monotheistic form, but because it's easier to explain things like as polytheistic as like these are all different gods, that's how it developed into becoming kind of like a polytheistic religion at the same time.
You got some questions?
Yep.
I have a couple. First off, in the office, like they celebrate Diwali.
Mm-hmm.
And what is that? And then number two is, I know like some Christians and some other religions, like they basically see everyone else that doesn't practice their religion as going to hell.
Uh-huh.
How do people who practice Hinduism kind of see other religions?
Okay. So what is Diwali? So Diwali is, it's kind of, so you're going to get kind of lost. So Vishnu is the, kind of like the name for, I'm going to explain things polytheistically because it's a lot easier, like I said. So Vishnu is the god of perseverance. He's what maintains, so Brahma is creation, Vishnu perseveres through life, and then Shiva is destruction. So Vishnu has 12 avatars, and one of them his name is Rama.
And what's an avatar?
And an avatar is when Vishnu comes to Earth in form.